Thank you for listening to the Spartans Army podcast, brought to you by Jaff's Decorating Services.
Hello and welcome to the Spartan Army podcast, which is proudly brought to you by Jaff's Decorating Services. Well, this is an emergency podcast, should you say, because at the weekend, the Spartans women's were crowned champions of the Scottish Power Women's Premier League 2 after a 2-0 victory over Dundee United, and in dramatic fashion, results elsewhere went our way as Kilmarnock were defeated late on to Queen's Park. A phenomenal atmosphere inside the Vanlock Community Stadium as the thunder rolled in from across the Forth. News filtered through that Spartans would become champions, and as the referee blew his full-time whistle, the lightning came on and Spartans realised their fate, and champions it was, in promotion back to the SWPL1 next season. What an achievement for manager Jack Beesley, captain Robyn McCafferty, and the full Spartans women's squad. A massive congratulations. 15 points was the biggest gap around 8 weeks ago. They have worked so tirelessly hard to claw that back, including back-to-back results against Kilmarnock, inflicting Kilmarnock's first defeat in the league this season. An incredible 9 clean sheets in a row, an incredible 13 games undefeated to win the league by 2 points. The Spartan Army podcast, sponsored by Jaff's Decorating Services, are celebrating the Spartans women becoming champions of the Scottish Power Women's Premier League 2. Champions and back where we belong in the SWPL1. What an achievement. What a season for Spartans in the Scottish Power Women's Premier League 2. Incredible stats as well to go over, but let's start with the game itself. Dundee United, they actually came out very aggressive and attacking, but Spartans defended so well, like they have done so often this season. Incredible going on. Spartans got the opening goal just after half time. Natalie Bandura once again opening the scoring for Spartans. And then I hope you didn't blink because you would have missed it. Spartans made it 2-0 straight away. This time, Izzy Young rounding the Dundee United goalkeeper and slotting the ball into the net to make it 2 goals for Spartans with just over 30 minutes to play. The heavens opened, the hail came down, the thunder was rolling in, and the lightning was striking. No news from Queen's Park. Kilmarnock needed to better Spartans' result. They needed to win, but the news filtered through that there was a goal in Kirkintilloch, but it was from Queen's Park with 5 minutes to go, and that news rippled through to North Edinburgh, and the supporters in the stand could not contain their excitement, letting the girls know that only one more push was needed. And then in the 90th minute in the game at the Vanlock Community Stadium, that cheer went off in the stand once again, and this time it was because Queen's Park had doubled their advantage, which almost secured Spartans as champions. A full-time whistle went at the Vanlock Community Stadium. No confirmation of the full-time result at Kilmarnock for what might have seemed like the longest 30 seconds in their careers. The Spartans players held on for confirmation, and finally that confirmation from the SWPL coming through that Queen's Park had beaten Kilmarnock by 2-0, and Spartans' victory against Dundee United secured them promotion and the title as champions of the Scottish Power Women's Premier League 2. What a glorious day it was, and here to reflect on it, the woman who lifted the trophy at the Valmont Community Stadium, here is Robyn McCafferty. So, Robyn, hello, welcome back to the Spartan Army podcast. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations. I was just asking you before we came on air here, has it sunk in yet for you?
Not quite. Yeah, just unbelievable feeling, unbelievable day, and I just still can't quite believe that it's real, just given the circumstances of it all. But yeah, it was a fantastic day, and it was just amazing to have so many people at Spartans there to share that moment with us. It was really special.
Congratulations from everyone here at the Spartan Army podcast. We really are chuffed for you and the girls. Talk us through the events of the day, how it felt, because obviously you were due to start. Obviously weren't feeling too good, so you were on the bench. And how did you hear of the news filtering through from results elsewhere?
Yes, obviously it was due to play, but kind of had a sickness bug from kind of Wednesday night onwards. Tried to push myself and hopefully get myself better for the game. Tried the warm up, but realised that I couldn't have given 100%. So made that clear to Jack and said, like, look, I can't give 100% here, and I know that Chloe was able to step in and give 100% and do a fantastic job, which she did. So massive respect to her. I thought she was brilliant yesterday, especially given the circumstances. On the bench, they kind of spoke about focusing on our game, and we don't want to find out the results, and we don't really want to know what was going on. But there was a couple of chats on the bench, and then all of a sudden there was a bit of a roar from the crowd. That didn't seem like it was related to the game at all, because I think the ball was in the middle of the pitch and nothing had happened, and then there's a big roar. So we all kind of looked at each other and was like, right, okay, maybe that means something. And then one of the coaches confirmed that Queen's Park had scored, and then the second one, I think it was Gordon, turned around and was like, that's 2-0. And we just couldn't quite believe it. And then when the whistle went for us, we knew that was it, and it was game over, and the league trophy was ours. So it was just it was unbelievable.
Amazing memories. And talk about the fight and the character from the players who were there last year, who this time last year experienced horrible feeling of relegation, to show that character, to show that fight, and be league championed and return into the SWPL 1.
Yeah, it's fantastic in terms of the mindset. I mean, this time last season was probably it was one of the most heartbreaking moments that the clubs ever probably went through, that the players, the coaching staff had went through. It was horrible. So we spoke about it at the start of the season, and we tried to use that kind of experience and our advantage. We knew this was something that we didn't ever want to experience again, and we kind of let that spur us on. And then we had to try and convey that to the players that were then new in the door pre-season, that maybe hadn't experienced that, because they were new in, they were just coming in. So we kind of tried to convey that how disappointing that was for the club, and how much this club deserves to be in SWPL 1. And to be fair, even the girls that came in through the door that hadn't been there the previous season, they got behind our goals and ambitions straight away, and they knew how much it meant for the club to be in SWPL 1. So they got right up for it as well. So yeah, and throughout the season, we had so many highs, so many lows. I think at one point I think it was maybe after the loss to Boroughmuir that we thought, right, well, we're quite a few points adrift now, and it's out with our control. So our focus then became on making sure we got second place, and that was our real focus. And then I think maybe only the last maybe 3 games of the season where we thought, oh, actually, we could do something here. But we tried not to let it get our focus too much. Again, for us, it was more just try and make the gap as big as possible, between us and third and fourth place, and then the more points that we can close down on first is a bonus. But the mentality of the players just to go through that kind of initial heartbreak of thinking that it was maybe too far gone, to then the run that we had post split was phenomenal. The amount of wins, the amount of clean sheets. It was just fantastic. So the players' attitudes, the coaches, the mindset, it was fantastic. So they thoroughly deserved that yesterday.
Incredible. And obviously yourself, massive congratulations for SWPL League 2 Player of the Month award for April. The team in general have been fantastic. So many records have been broken. I mean, 20 clean sheets over a 28 league game season is an incredible stat for the whole, for the goalkeeper, for the whole defence, for the whole team. 13 games undefeated this run was, only conceding 2 goals in that as well. That actually breaks a record from 2010, when the Spartans women went 12 games unbeaten. So it's great. And you mentioned there your target was obviously second, to create as much gap as possible between you and the teams in third and fourth. But if you were 15 points behind at one stage, was there always a sneaky feeling you could do this?
I think at that point, to be honest, as players, it felt just maybe too far.
Yeah.
And I think because of the run that Kilmarnock were on at the time, and they'd been unbeaten until we beat them at home. You kind of just thought you couldn't really see, them having gone so long, you just couldn't see them dropping as many points as we needed. We knew that we felt comfortable and confident that we could take the maximum points from them, but at the end of the day, that was only 6.
Yeah.
We could only change the gap of 6 points. And that was the only thing that was in our control. The other 9 points were out of our control. So, we had to really focus on just what we could control, and if they dropped any more points, then it's a bonus. So I definitely think at a point we still had the belief that we knew that if we'd went on the run that we knew that we could have achieved, then we definitely could have got close. But I don't think we could have quite fully imagined that we'd be able to kind of overtake them until the last couple of games, where we realised that we could have got close enough, and then just to edge it.
Amazing, Robyn. Congratulations once again. What's the plans for pre-season? A nice break, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was probably one of the better factors yesterday, was we realised that actually we've just got another couple of weeks off now, which is nice. So yeah, we've got our end of season awards night to look forward to, which will be nice. We're in on Wednesday just to have a kind of kick about. It's normally a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Get the staffy players and stuff, which will be good fun, and good to see how everyone's recovered after last night, and see if they remember how to play football after last night. So we'll have that, and then we'll have the end of the season awards night to look forward to as well, and about enjoying the time off, resting, recovering, not only physically but mentally.
Yeah.
Especially with the excitement and the adrenaline of yesterday, and the kind of the games leading up to the end of the season. Just mentally as well, it's such a long season, and midweek games, and you're constantly prepping for the next match. So yeah, it's really important for all the players now to chill out, enjoy some time with our friends, ones, hopefully go away and see a bit of sun, and then come back refreshed. And because we need to be able to take a massive step up to be able to compete in SWPL 1 next season, which we're all really looking forward and really committing to do. So yeah, just enjoy the time off, and then we'll be back in pre-season ready to go again.
Amazing, Robyn. Congratulations once again, the winning captain of the Spartans Women's Scottish Power Women's Premier League 2 champions, Robyn McCafferty. Thank you very much for joining. Enjoy your break. You deserve it. You all do.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm sure we will.
Massive thank you to Robyn McCafferty for joining us on the Spartan Army podcast remotely. Obviously, a great celebration last night. So thank you so much to the captain for joining us on this week's emergency celebrationary Spartan Army podcast. Coming up in just a minute, we'll hear from the person who masterminded, him and his team anyway, masterminded the successful route back to the SWPL 1, Jack Beesley. So Jack Beesley joins us on the Spartan Army podcast. Jack, congratulations to you and your team. Champions. How does that sound?
Yeah, brilliant. We're actually just discussing today that it was a year ago yesterday that we got relegated. So obviously the feeling from 12 months ago, in comparison to yesterday, probably couldn't get any further apart. So yeah, certainly a good feeling.
Amazing scenes yesterday for celebrations. The young team coming on as well. Great to see the youth section, the girls there celebrating with the women's team. How did the news kind of filter through to you that you had won the league?
I mean, there was a bit of a ban on talking about anything to do with the Queen's Park and Kilmarnock game, but I think once we went to 2-0, you were kind of hopeful you could see the game out from there. And at that point, some of the staff were kind of discreetly checking, and then it became a little bit less discreet when I think there was a throw-in on the halfway line, and we heard the crowd cheering and celebrating, which we thought had maybe meant something had happened in another game. So when we went to 1-0, obviously you're still very nervous, but at that point, you're hoping it's going to happen. And then when it went to 2-0, with a few minutes to go, and you need a 2-goal swing at their place and a 2-goal swing at our place, you're kind of thinking at that point. But even then, our full-time whistle went, and we were still a wee bit apprehensive until somebody confirmed the full-time whistle had gone at Queen's Park as well, and then it was bedlam, as you've seen.
Incredible scenes, and obviously you just said it's been a year yesterday since Spartans were relegated from the SWPL. For the players and the coaching staff that remained at the team this year, and for the players coming in as well, it shows a determination to get right back up to that top division.
Yeah, I think that makes it harder. I think you saw Queen's Park and Dundee United in the same way we did, found it a challenge, and I think we started the season well, and maybe subconsciously people thought, this is good, we're winning games, and we had a spell in November where we didn't win in 4 and we didn't even score a goal in 4. So I think at that point, everybody was really low, and that's when you need the right people in the dressing room. You need characters, you need leadership, you need togetherness. And a few years ago, I don't think we had the squad that would have coped with that, but I think we definitely do now, and I think that was shown this year. When people are really together and you want to fight for things, you can achieve things. So yeah, I think that the new players that did come in, the younger ones and the more experienced ones, probably helped in the sense they didn't have those scars from last year. But then for the players that were here from last year, I think you can see in certain moments, certain games, just how much they wanted it, how much it meant to them because of last year. And I thought you saw a lot of big performances yesterday from some of those players, and even just people just doing the right thing. Robyn, during the warm-up, felt ill. She felt if she played, she was going to let the team down. A game that meant so much for her to step out of the game and say you should play somebody else, I think that just speaks volume of her, and just in general, the type of people who've got in the dressing room. So obviously a bit of luck when you're so far behind, and we were fortunate that Kilmarnock started dropping points. But I think to win 12 and draw 1 in the last 13, I think says everything about the group.
It does. It's a record for Spartans, that stat. 13 games unbeaten, only conceding 2 goals. The previous record was back in 2010, 2011. That was a record of 12 undefeated. And of course, women's games have come on leaps and bounds with all respect to the team back in 2010, 2011. So to achieve that's phenomenal. 20 clean sheets in 28 league games as well, Jack. It's extraordinary stats. What's next for you? A little break before it all comes up again, watching the World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, a little break probably. Probably this week anyway. I'll try and forget that football exists. We're actually in the squad. Are actually back in on Wednesday night. We like to have a kind of end of season kick around the pitch, involve the staff, that type of thing. Obviously this year it's going to be probably a little bit more bubbly than it was last year, but I think that's good as well because everyone might not be together next season, and you want to obviously say thank you and etc. to people that have helped us a lot this year on and off the pitch. So that on Wednesday, and then just a bit of a switch off, but at the same time, we didn't know what league we were going to be in. That obviously affects your recruitment. It affects who you retain. So it won't be too much of a break before we need to start looking to next season and what we can try and do to obviously be competitive and stay in a league that now, when it's down to 10 teams instead of 12, it's so hard for the part-time teams every single year, where everyone's probably in the same boat of priority being try and avoid relegation and then think about where you're going to finish in the league after. So, a little bit of a break. Players deserve a break, staff deserve a break, but not too much longer until we're planning for next season.
Jack, to you, your team, your players, your background staff, absolutely amazing. Congratulations once again, and thank you for coming on the Spartan Army podcast, especially the day after winning the league. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Kyle, and thanks for your support through this season as well.
Incredible. What a weekend it has been for the Spartan Army. And that concludes the footballing season across the under-20s, the men's team, and the women's team. Champions of the Scottish Power Women's Premier League 2. What a terrific way to end. Thank you once again for listening to the Spartan Army podcast. As said last week, this will be our last one, and we'll try to continue on a 2 to 3 week basis, bringing you some exclusives from behind the scenes at Ainsley Park. From myself, Kyle Patterson, thank you for listening. Enjoy your summer. Cheering Scotland or whoever you're cheering on from wherever in the world. And from all of us here at the Spartan Army podcast, Mon the Spartans, El Champions.